welcome to episode 249 of the AHRC Marathon Training Vlog. MK here on a beautiful Tuesday morning. And we have 7 miles of general aerobic on the books today. So we're going to talk about how to get that type of workout done. The rest of the AHRC is out in a different group at a little bit of a faster pace and a little bit longer distance. So today, Haven and I are together to get the job done. Let's go! All right, we warmed up for a mile, pretty slow. And then this is our second mile at 8:23 pace. Doing really great. Just keeping it aerobic and comfortable and learning how to kind of accept and normalize this pace as easy. Just a quick health update. My ab is now fully healed. I have full range of motion. I could probably even do lower ab strength and conditioning work if it weren't for my sore groin. So pretty happy about that. The upper ab and the middle ab conditioning has been helping to alleviate that lower ab pain a lot, so that's working. Also doing planks and strengthening my back is helping with the lower ab issue, so almost done with that. Pretty good news. The groin tendonitis that was a result of the ab injury and pretty much ignoring it and running on it for months is a different issue though. Still feeling a lot of pain, but I've been doing some strength work and activation work before the runs, activating especially the glutes and the quads, and that relieves a lot of tension and pressure in the hip flexors and the groin area, so that's working out really well. So actually today I was thinking that this run will be very painful, but after doing the activation exercises, I feel like this is one of my better running days in the last month or so. All right, that's mile 3 and 8:33, and looks like we're finding a groove. Slowed it down just a little bit on the incline of this part of the pathway. Today, Haven's gonna work on 2 things. The first is at this speed of general aerobic pace range, she's gonna work on normalizing her foot strike so that she can try to correct this outward toe point that she has, which causes a great deal of pain when she runs on it at faster speeds in the shin area and the front of the ankle area. Right now, Haven is pretty healthy, so she's not experiencing any of that pain. We just wanted to make sure that when we ramp up the intensity of the workouts, that she stays healthy. The second thing that we're going to work on today is separating Haven's breathing from her cadence. She has a tendency to take a breath out and in with every step. So basically she's breathing out with every right foot landing on the ground. She's a bit lulled in by the rhythm of the cadence and ends up breathing to that rhythm. So today we're going to try to normalize a new breathing rhythm that is separate from her step cadence. Okay, that's the 4th mile at 8 something. Haven's easy pace is supposed to be between 8:50 per mile and 9:30 per mile. This is probably a little bit on the slow side for Haven for her fitness level and her running ability, but since this is her comeback marathon build, we're going to make it a little bit more achievable and less strenuous so that she doesn't have all the stresses that come along with pushing her body to the limit. This workout is called a general aerobic run because we're hitting all the paces within the aerobic zone. all the way from zone 1 jogging and talking all the way to aerobic threshold, where we will feel very uncomfortable. On the RPE scale, Haven is feeling pretty comfortable at the beginning of this run on the warm-up, able to talk without taking a breath, able to say sentences at a time without pausing. And I know she's capable of doing that down to the under 9 minute per mile pace, because I see her talking on the recovery runs all the time. Today we're doing 7 miles of general aerobic, so we're doing 1 mile of that easy warm-up at the beginning, just to get the blood flowing, the circulation moving, and to ease our heart rate up so that it's not such a huge shock and we can avoid a giant heart rate spike at the beginning of the run. Now we're at the meat of the run, the next 5 mile segment, where we're going to try to keep it at easy pace and slightly faster than easy pace, a pace called steady state running. Steady state for Haven is between marathon pace and easy. So she's going to run anywhere between 8 minutes per mile and 8:40 per mile. Okay, that's the 5th mile in 8 minutes and 46 seconds up a very difficult portion of our run course. After we do 5 miles of steady state running mixed with some easy pace, paying special attention to the difficulty of the course and easing up on the speed if it means that we need to maintain our effort levels pretty consistent. And then we'll do the last mile at almost really close to marathon pace. So we're going to try to get under 8:15 per mile, which is getting really close to Haven's race pace at 8 minutes per mile. Every run needs to be a progression. So Haven's going to look at this run's data before she does her next general aerobic run, and she'll try to make some kind of progression, an improvement on the workout, whether it means adding a little more mileage or it means to increase the paces a little bit for every mile. So why do we do general aerobic runs? Why do we put them in the training plan? And why do they last between 8 and 10 miles? General aerobic runs are perfect for base building. So when you're in between training builds and you need to work on developing your base building, putting in general aerobic runs and trying to inch that graph to the right with every week and steadily moving your easy pace a little bit faster and faster as each week progresses is a good, healthy way to do your rebuild, create a strong aerobic base, and improve your aerobic capacity. I also use general aerobic runs in between races. So after a marathon, I'll do some base rebuilding, and I'll stay on that rebuilding phase until I'm comfortably capable of doing 4 general aerobic runs per week. About 10 miles of general aerobic running and not being sore or tight the next day is good for developing kind of the mental toughness needed to be a marathon runner. It's good because at steady state pace, you're able to apply enough pressure to feel discomfort. However, your heart rate is low enough that you're not distracted by heavy breathing, and so you're more cognizant of all that other stress that's happening to your body, all the footsteps, the trauma, the shaking of the bones, the sweat that's coming off of your brow, all the little stresses that add up to kind of breaking your will. So it's important to spend a good deal amount of time at general aerobic or steady state pace once you've worked up to that level. Another advantage of spending more time at steady state is to be able to take float breaks during the marathon and feel like you're recuperating. So in October, we ran the Long Beach Marathon, and my good friend Denny ran into a little bit of trouble at around mile 16 or 17 of the race. I'll leave a card for you at the end of this video if you missed that vlog episode. During the Long Beach Marathon, we were able to float up to steady state pace at around 7:15 per mile, and Denny was able to kind of stave off the calf cramp that he was getting so early in the race. We tried to pick it back up after he felt like he recuperated, but the cramp was a result of an injury. So even though we weren't taxing the system too much as far as our cardio, we decided to cruise at steady state pace and make it to the finish in 3 hours and 3 minutes for the marathon. Okay, we're gonna pick up the pace on this last mile a little bit and finish up this workout. Let's go. I just want to re-emphasize the importance of not getting confused by the term easy. I talked about that in a recent video, the difference between easy pace and recovery pace running. I really want to stress the importance of this concept of easy. So I think the best way to approach it is to throw away that term when not discussing pace. So I'm going to refer to that idea that we get confused by as comfort. And we need to remind ourselves that we are most mentally comfortable at the pace that we spend the most time at. It's the most that we practiced. It only makes sense. Marathoning is different than running a 5K or a 10K or even a half marathon. They can all be gutted out. And no matter how uncomfortable it feels, you can will yourself to the finish line and maintain the pace. Marathoning is done at an effort level that is so low that your brain can work really well, and it will constantly try to persuade you to stop the effort. So you will be at a giant advantage if you can normalize a little bit of a faster pace for the marathon. Thus, the importance of spending time at steady state. Okay, that's mile 7 in 8:30. Well done. So try building in a little bit more of steady state miles in your aerobic runs after you have gotten a little bit more comfortable with easy pace. I know Haven is definitely making a ton of progress, has really normalized her easy pace where it really actually feels comfortable. And moving on to steady state is the next part of her progression and development as a marathoner. I'm feeling great about that, and I think you're gonna have a good day as a result, Haven. I hope you have a good day and a meaningful run. We'll see you in the next one. All right, bye now.